Alright, had another end time dream. This was a while ago, so I'm just gonna read it as I wrote it. I had this dream several weeks ago, and it played like a series of video clips. I saw Michelle Obama marching through the city of New York. There was an army in her wake, but I did not know where they were headed at first. The next clip was of some catastrophic event and people being raptured. It started out as people running, myself included, and then we just left our bodies. I saw many people floating into the air, having the wings of great birds and in gowns of white. I could feel myself flying, and it was pretty cool. Next, I saw refugees, hundreds, thousands even, marching up this great mountain. They had come from all over the world, and I felt as if they were in the Middle East. Many of them were American, and they were dressed in rags. They were weary, starving, scared, depressed, and I felt as if where they were migrating to was the last sanctuary. But the army led by Michelle Obama was coming for them. Then had this dream about 2 years ago. I was dressed in a robe, huddled up with several people in a large Catholic church. We were scared beyond comprehension, visibly shaken in the dream. A series of fancy black cars, like limos or Cadillacs. I don't know much about cars, so just fancy black cars, pulled up into pulled up to the front of the cathedral. Several men in black tuxes stepped out. One in particular was of average height with platinum blonde hair that was thick and looked almost crystal. He had the most beautiful hair that I've ever seen, but I couldn't see his face just yet. The dream cut back to me and the rest of the people still huddled up in a room. Suddenly we heard a voice, like the sound of a mighty wind, shout, "I know you're in there. Come out." We froze at that moment, no one making a sound for several long seconds that could have easily been minutes. And then, for some strange reason, a little boy in the room looked up at me with his sad puppy dog eyes. I suddenly felt myself heading to the door. People were gawking at me as if I was crazy, but others too began to follow. I'm not sure how many of those who were huddled up in the room came out, but those who did were lined up in front of the entrance, while the group of men wearing tuxes aimed their guns at us. The only man who didn't have a gun was the one who had unnaturally beautiful hair. I knew he was the Antichrist. He calmly walked the line of people, carelessly looking us over. He then said, "I'll give you one more chance. Bow down and worship me." He was very charismatic, his voice passive and soothing, his skin was flawless, fair like the color of puffed rice, but healthy looking. His face was narrow, eyes warm and inviting, though I do not remember the color. I think they were blue. And not just any blue, but a blue that was to be envied by the whole world. I don't know if it was a few seconds or maybe a minute, but in that time, no one in the line spoke a word. So the Antichrist nodded his head up and down like a man offended. Turning his back, I felt my heart beating in my chest, watching as he took a few steps away from us. He then held out his arms, raising his hands to the heavens. He shouted out something in a language that I didn't understand. It may have been Latin. While he spoke these words, the little boy from earlier had been standing next to me. He glanced at me again, still with fear in his eyes. I was equally afraid. And then, right after the Antichrist finished speaking, there was a loud, ear-piercing sound. It sounded like a whistle. The bodies of those who were standing in the row, myself included, began to convulse as if a sudden sickness came upon us. Then I felt my soul being pulled out of my body, going up in the air. Looking down, I saw my body mutate into that of a monster. like something off of John Carpenter's The Thing.